You guys asked for this, let's do concert-proof makeup. Also, we are going to be putting this makeup to the ultimate test towards the end of the video, so definitely stay for that. Now, I will say I have done like concert get ready with me's over on TikTok and shown some of these steps. Also, I have an old series over there where I did bridal makeup. I did, traditional bridal, and then how I would do my wedding makeup if I was getting married. And that was like 2021, 22-ish, somewhere in there. Let me tell you, if you go back and watch those videos, the makeup I did for how I would do my wedding makeup versus what I actually did for my wedding is very different. Now, the base steps stayed the same for the most part. Now, some of these products you can interchange with other things. You'll see that here in a minute. But the setting spray portion is the most important. Now, whenever I do go to a concert, this is what I do so it lasts the whole time. My very first concert was the middle of September in the rain, and my makeup lasted all night long. And I was there probably, 3-4 hours standing in the rain, jumping around, singing, and my makeup lasted. So let's get into it. Brows have changed over the years for me. Of course, I've always used some type of brow gel in my brows. And then when I was going to concerts, I was a brow pencil kind of a girl. I've switched to brow pens more recently. This is a great go-to from NYX. So I would recommend NYX overall for any brow needs. It's affordable. It is my go-to brand for brows, so NYX. Now, eyeliner, my personal preference is the Urban Decay 24/7 pencils. I have the shade Perversion. This is what I used on my wedding day. This is what I've used for different concerts. But I also like this Milani one. That is a really good one from the drugstore. It lasts all day. It does not budge. And obviously, you don't have to use black eyeliner if you don't want to. They have so many different colors in these. Another thing, really put it on. Don't be scared. Go back over it, layer it, put it in between your lashes. You want it to last. MAC Fix Plus is going to be your best friend. You absolutely need MAC Fix Plus. Let me repeat that. You need MAC Fix Plus to be able to do this. I do like to spray my skin before I go in with primer. I'm just going to let this dry down a little bit. And this is my skin prep. Because I am so oily, if I use any kind of moisturizer before doing this makeup, it is not going to hold up. I know a lot of people like to preach about skin prep. I can't. My skin is way too oily. This is just what works for me. If you have to do skin prep, do your skin prep. Do whatever you need to do. But me personally, I can't do it. Primer, any of the e.l.f. gripping primers, any of them. I've done it with the Jelly Pop. I've done it with the Mint Melt, the Power Grip Original, Power Grip Niacinamide, which I'm using now. Any of them. But it has to be a gripping primer. And again, I would recommend the e.l.f. ones just because they are affordable, unlike the Milk one. And honestly, the Milk one is a little too hydrating for what I need it to do. Now, let this sink in a little bit before going in with foundation. Foundation, I'm going to show you what I'm using. Use what you have, any long wear makeup, but I'm going in with Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is the new formulation, and then their Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. This combo does not budge off your skin whatsoever, but I have also done it with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, the Milani Conceal Imperfect, and then just an affordable drugstore foundation will work. Like, I really like the Revlon Color Stay. That one has really long staying power. I don't know if CoverGirl still has the 3-in-1 foundation. I'll try to find a picture of it. That used to be my go-to because it was so long wearing. That was a very good foundation. Again, I don't know if they still make that one. I always put my foundation and concealer on with a sponge. That is my personal preference. Just put your foundation and concealer on. Now, whatever concealer you are using, yes, I like to use a lot of concealer. Am I still in 2016? Possibly. But whatever concealer you are using, let it sit. Let it thicken up and actually get a little more coverage. Does this technically need more coverage? No. But it also helps it last longer on your skin. It doesn't just add coverage, it adds longevity. My wedding day, I literally sat around like this for a good 3 to 5 minutes. Like this. I look crazy, but it works. Now I am taking that concealer all over my lid, but I am also going in with eyeshadow primer. Tried and true, Urban Decay. I swear they need to sponsor me at this point. Like, Urban Decay, you want to send me some PR, something? Because I am a huge fan of their products. And we're just slapping this all over. And then I take the same part of the sponge where I blend out my concealer, blend the eyeshadow primer out. Now this is a new step I would add to doing wedding makeup or concert makeup. Use a cream, bronzer, and blush, and then top it with a powdered bronzer and blush. Before, I just did one or the other. I didn't really care. This actually does help with longevity because you have a base for everything to stick to. It's like having eyeshadow primer. It's a base for the product to stick to. Same idea with using the cream and then the powder. Once the cream, blush, and bronzer is done, guess what? Fix Plus, and you are drenching your face. If it does not look like you just stuck your face in a bowl of water, it's not enough. Do not make any facial expressions, just fan it dry. Okay, this is real life. I have never done this technique with a brow pen. I wouldn't recommend. I will show you how to fix that here in a second though. Since that is still wet, I'm just taking my sponge, gently pressing, and that smudge is now gone. So do not use a brow pen for this technique. We learned the hard way. So I guess I was doing it right the first time when I was just using a brow pencil. When you are mostly dry, and like there's not big spots of water, gently, and I do mean gently, take your sponge and just press it into the skin. And I'm barely touching my face. This is just picking up any excess and just further pushing the product into my foundation. Now let's powder. The powder I recommend above any of them is the Kimchi Puff Puff Pass. If you have oily skin, this is a godsend, I swear to you. And it does come with a puff of its own. This is actually a nice, really soft puff, so you can get away with using that one. I have plenty of times, as you can see by the puff. And I do have the shade Translucent. They have a banana one, a lavender, a pink. I think they have some more like deeper skin tone ones, but I just use the Translucent. Now, make sure there is absolutely 0 creases. Do not set a crease. And now this is a very old technique, but we're baking because it actually does work. Do you need to bake every single day? No, we are not in 2016, I promise. But if you want your makeup to last a long time, it does work. And me personally, because my problem areas are right in here and my nose, I cover the shit out of all of it. You are going to look crazy. Powder over the brow. That is how you are going to get your brows to stay on as well. And then we have that one little incident. It is absolutely fine. Like I said, this is actually a really high quality puff. So you can get away with just using the puff it comes with. You don't need an additional tool, but I do recommend a powder puff, not a brush. This actually just presses all that powder into your skin. And you might be thinking like, this is such a waste of product. I promise you it's not. It is worth doing. If you've never baked before, try it. If I wasn't filming, this is when I would do my eyeshadow, but do I really want to look crazy through doing that? No. Plus, for this eyeshadow look, I am going to be doing a separate video on how to do a smoky eye for beginners, so definitely check that out. It'll be posted after this video. Now, you're going to want to let this sit as long as possible. Again, that's when I would normally do my eyeshadow. Instead, I'm just going to pull everything out and get ready for doing my smoky eye tutorial for you guys, and then I'll be back to do the rest. Alright, I got everything set up for my next video. I am taking a big fluffy brush and starting to sweep away the excess. You are going to look crazy before you look good. You really just have to trust the process. Now, like I said, this is the step I wish I would have done for my wedding makeup or any other concert makeup. We have the cream blush and bronzer on. Let's top that with some powder. Now, obviously, use whatever cheek products you want to use for the cream portion and the powder. Just make sure they all look good together. They're cohesive. You're not using a red cream blush and then a purple powder blush or something and looking weird. Like I used a pink cream blush. I also have a pink powder blush to go on top. Are you ready for this? This means more setting spray. So we are going back in with MAC Fix Plus. I am going to try to avoid my brows as much as possible since we know brow pen runs, apparently. I didn't expect that one too because it has such longevity, and any other setting spray I've used with it, no issue. But I guess MAC Fix Plus and the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen does not work well together, so FYI. This step is helping all your makeup sink in and blend together and you look less powdery and crazy. Now, my tried and true was the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This was in collab with Skindinavia. Skindinavia, you can buy on its own, and it's the same formula as the OG All Nighter Setting Spray. They have reformulated this. It is no longer the same, but if you want this, buy this. And this is their bridal one. And it literally is the same as this, but since I have some of this left, we're going in with it. And again, drenching the face. Now, I like doing my setting spray and then my highlighter. I am using my cookie highlighter. You guys already know how much I love this one, but use whatever highlighter you have. Again, this isn't really the steps that are important. Your longwear concealer, foundation, some type of grippy primer, and the setting sprays and powder is what really makes the biggest difference. Your cheek products, use whatever color, finish, whatever you want for your cheeks. Just make sure it is a longwear formula. And again, it might not be 2016, but I like to beam like it is. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do my smoky eye tutorial. A date will be up here when you guys will be seeing that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll come back to finish this. Because again, the eyeshadow, do whatever you feel like doing. You want to do glitter, you want to do neutral, you want to do bright pink, go for it. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you have your eyeshadow primer down, you set it with the powder, you are completely a blank canvas and ready to go. Smoky eye on, gorgeous. Now, eyeliner and mascara. Very important that they are waterproof. Waterproof. It is going to last so much longer than any washable formula. Now, for eyeliner, I really like the NYX Epic Ink Liner, and this does say it is waterproof. There is different shades as well, but obviously I have the black shade because I'm me. I will never get over this mascara. This is the Melt So High. It holds your curl, it adds a lot of length, and it is waterproof. But before you touch anything eyeliner or mascara related, do your setting spray, because once you put these on, if you put setting spray on top, it can smudge still. Do not do it. So this is our last round of Fix Plus. And if you were like me and kind of dumb and didn't know that your brow pen was going to smudge, avoid your brows a little bit. You're going to let this dry a little bit. Still going to be a little wet here. Go in, well, with your Skindinavia, we're just going to use this old Urban Decay one. Really spray the face. Now, before the setting spray existed, this is the only two that I used. But I do take some of what I said back. After you do this step, there is one last setting spray you are going to use, and that is the One Size On Till Dawn. The L'Oreal 3-Second Setting Mist is also really good. It's kind of a dupe for this one. But since this did not exist with my first concert I went to, I did not use it. Anytime I have anything important now, this is what I'm pulling out. And before you go in with eyeliner or mascara, make sure all that setting spray you just put on your face is completely dry. If not, it is going to smudge. This tip is for my oily girlies out there. Take your setting powder, grab a little bit of setting powder. You're really working this into the puff, tapping off any excess. You can take the excess off on the back of your hand here. And you're just going to lightly press this in where any of your pores are really big or you get oily. I do mean lightly. And then since I have bangs now, I am going to do my forehead. And I'm barely touching the puff to my face. And this is while the setting spray is the tiniest bit damp. If it is too wet, you are just going to have a big glob of powder stuck to your face, and that is not cute. That is not what you want. Make sure it is barely wet. And look at that. My skin looks flawless. Now, can you wear lashes to a concert? Absolutely. I recommend a waterproof lash glue. But I have done that in the past and worn lashes to a concert and they did stay on. Do I recommend it? It can get uncomfortable, and if you have sensitive eyes and your eyes water, that's just going to put more stress on your makeup that you don't need, especially if you are going to a concert in the rain. So maybe don't, and just invest in a good mascara. Even like Maybelline has great affordable mascaras and they have waterproof formulas. I would do that. And if you know for a fact you are going to cry during a concert, do not wear falsies. Don't do it. Just because you don't want to risk breaking down that glue at all and then your lashes coming off during the concert. So I don't recommend doing that. Lip products, you're probably thinking liquid lipstick, right? No, because a lot of those formulas, either they don't dry down. If they don't dry down, yeah, it could last, but then you're risking smudging. If it does dry down, it can get cracky and crumbly. So I actually recommend a bullet lipstick. Now, my personal favorite is MAC. MAC is my tried and true. I wore a MAC lip combo for my wedding. I've worn MAC lip combos to concerts. Any important event, it's probably going to be a MAC lip combo. Now, with your lip pencil, I don't recommend overlining because if it does start to fade and your lip liner's all the way up here and you can see a gap between your lip liner and your lip, it's gonna look a little funky. So what I did on my wedding day and for my concerts, I just followed my natural lip line. Nothing special here. Now, MAC lip pencils are already long lasting, but when you take a little bit of your setting powder and go over it, they're even more long lasting. So very little, tapping off the excess here, lightly powdering that lip liner. Also, make sure you're not wearing any like lip balm or chapstick or anything underneath your lip combo, because then it's not going to last as long because it's too slippery. Lipstick, really put it on. Don't be scared. Put it on. And then if you need to, you don't need to bring your lip liner along with you because we already set that down. Just take the lipstick with you, and this should be the only thing you need to reapply. The only thing should be your lipstick. And really, you would only need to reapply your lipstick if you plan on getting like concessions, getting drinks, snacks, anything like that. Eating, drinking, going to break down your lip. If you're not doing any of that, you probably won't even need to bring this along, as long as you're laying it on thick. I do mean thick. With MAC formula, I feel like it's not uncomfortable. Even when you pile it on, it still feels like nothing. Final step to seal everything in is the setting spray. It is literally like hairspray, so hold your breath, do not breathe it in, do not open your eyes until it is kind of faded away, or it's going to burn your eyes. And I use a decent amount of it too. Okay, I'm about to say, did I run out? And you set every square inch of your face. And this one dries pretty instantly. Look at my face. No beauty mode. And this is why I did this for my wedding day and all my concerts. Now, I told you, we're putting this makeup to the test. Now, hopefully I don't mess up my hair. But I do have some water here to simulate rain, since it is currently not raining where I am. This is the Evian facial spray, and it is literally just canned water. It's water and an aerosol. Yeah, this is what we're doing to test out this makeup, and I'm going to show you. It does not move. Also, I want to point out, I did not buy this. This was sent to me. I am not just buying water and a aerosol can. That is still wild to me that this is a thing, but it was sent to me. So I'm gonna put my hair up and try not to ruin my hair, at least, because that is not waterproof, okay? Oh, and I actually did kind of like how the bangs were laying. I also brought over my facial towels. I'm gonna make a bib out of this, so hopefully I don't soak my hoodie. Yeah, this is what I do for you guys, okay? I look crazed, but here is a nice before. Makeup is on, looks great. The skin is skinning. No cuts, water. And this is to simulate if you were in the rain at a concert. This is what I experienced, and my makeup still lasted. So let's go. Face is soaked. Now, obviously, do not rub your face or you are going to ruin your makeup. But if you just sit here and let it dry on its own, no smudges. It's not coming off in places. It's not patchy. Surprisingly, my brow is not running as bad as I thought it was going to be. Do not use a brow pen. Even though that is my now preferred method. Yeah, it's starting to run a little bit. That is my now preferred method of doing my brows. But when you go to concerts or anything, don't do a brow pen, because as you can see, that part is the only part that is running. That was my mistake. I just tried to do an updated version of my brow routine, because that's how I normally do my brows on a day-to-day basis, is with the brow pen rather than a pencil now. Mascara, eyeliner still on, blush, bronzer, everything. We're even just gonna go in with a little more. Just say it's a really heavy rain that day. It's still on. I'm gonna let this dry and show you with a dry face that it's still really on there. The brows might not be perfect anymore, but the rest of the face will be. Tell you what, my face is probably gonna look really hydrated after all that water. And look at my bangs. I hairsprayed them in place and now they're up there just. And then obviously I'm not gonna use any powder or anything, because realistically, I'm not taking that with me to a concert. Maybe sticking a lipstick in my pocket or my purse or something. But again, that would literally be the only thing I bring with me for touch-ups, is a lipstick. That's it. If I have to bring more than that, I didn't do my face right. And I keep checking in with you guys to show you I'm literally just fanning this. I am not putting any powder or anything. And the makeup is still on. Like, look at my cheek where it's dry now. it's still there. My highlight is still beaming. My eyeliner's not smudging or anything. The eyeshadow might be a little messed up, but I also like sprayed water on my face and not just, you know, had water coming down from the sky, because obviously it's not raining in my room. But even with that, it's still on there decently. And if I take my finger and just rub it a little bit here, it kind of fixes it. But yeah, the makeup is still makeuping. I highly doubt that you're gonna have somebody spraying you in the face with water at a concert or a wedding or any special event. The skin is skinning. Really wish my forehead would dry a little bit faster so we can look at that too. But you can see the cheeks, everything is still there. Again, the brows are a little wrecked, but that was my fault. Should not have used the brow pen. Makeup is still on. So the next concert you go to or special event, definitely do these steps and your makeup is going to last the entire time, as you can see. Because again, I don't think anybody's going to be carrying around Evian and spraying people in the face, but even if they are, you're covered. I know there was a few of you who wanted to see this tutorial, so hopefully this was helpful. And if you like any kind of makeup content, I do a bunch over here, so definitely like and subscribe before you leave. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.